Young People Who Rock. It's our weekly series featuring a different young person or people under 30 doing amazing things to change the world. And I think this is our youngest young person who rocks for the week, Doris Fitak, 9 years old, right? And our youngest author, a literary genius, you're called.
Yes.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
And so you wrote all of these books. And you've written so much more. Tell me about what you've written.
Well, I've written over 400 stories, some of them short, some of them long. I've also written over 200 poems, and I really love writing, and I'm continuing to write, and I hope to inspire other kids to read and write.
And I hear that you type really fast.
Yes, I type from 70 to 112 words per minute.
Wow. And what's your favorite thing to write?
I really love writing blogs, poems, stories, everything in stories, everything from fantasy to satire.
Okay, so let's read a little bit of what you've written. Here's one of your poems. If I drove an ice cream truck, it says, oh, if I drove an ice cream truck like Willie Spoppy Hillheimer Tuck, I would have pennies and nickels and shiny dimes too, with a ton of employees, all with the flu. You have an inspiration, Shel Silverstein. I can definitely hear that there.
Definitely, I love reading Shel Silverstein.
And tell me about some of the poems that you write. What inspires you? That's really advanced stuff.
Well, poems I think can be inspired by a lot of things. One of my poems, it's called The Weeping Willow, and one day as I was walking, I just saw a weeping willow, and there it was. I should like to live under the weeping tree was the first line. It just came to me at that moment. And then when I got home, opened my laptop, it just sort of sprouted from there.
And all of these things just sprout. I mean, is this more than one story you write a day?
Definitely. I write more than one blog article, more than one poem as well. So, and I read about 2 to 3 books per day as well.
2 to 3 books a day?
Yeah.
The whole book?
The whole book. No skipping allowed.
And you're also working with Verizon as a literacy spokesperson. Can you tell me about what you do with them?
Well, right now I'm working with the Verizon-sponsored site ThinkFinity to improve literacy in the world and bring literacy to other students and work with them to inspire other students. ThinkFinity has lesson plans that utilizes technology to help teachers get kids into using technology to learn, with games as a secondary thing when you log onto your computer, and education as the first.
So what do? You go around and you talk to kids, or do you talk to adults and kids and you tell them to read and write?
I talk to both adults and kids. I've lectured at kindergartens and colleges, so I think that the message of literacy and loving reading and writing and imagination is applicable to all ages, so I really think that it should be available to everyone.
And why do you think that kids don't like reading and writing?
I think many kids, when they reach about 4th grade, then they are like, oh, reading's boring, I don't want to do this anymore, because some of them are either brought low to read stuff that they're not interested in, or they're daunted by the vocabulary that's in a lot of books, and then they don't want to go through a dictionary and painstakingly flip through the most tattered pages on the planet. Instead, they just say, oh, I'll read a lower level book or not read at all. And so in my book, I have vocabulary lists explaining the vocabulary so the kids aren't going to be daunted by words like malevolent or carmine or hinterlands when they don't know what it means. So
that's in your book, Flying Fingers, right now. It's basically a how-to book to inspire young people to do what you do.
Definitely. It's a how-to book, but while the sound of how-to might make a lot of people think of that boring book on how to drive a nail into wood, it's really not like that, because while it does have tips on how you can use imaginative writing, which are very fun to read, it also has stories that are really fun to read with vocabulary, so you can learn at the same time as laughing and falling off the couch or doing whatever you like to do.
And you're also a big fan of Harry Potter.
Definitely. I really love Harry Potter and reading it, because it's a first story that's contemporary while it still has some of the old sort of medieval magic in it. So it applies both to maybe the historical fiction people, the fantasy people, and the contemporary people.
All right, Adora, you're also a little philanthropist. Tell me about some of your charitable work on top of reading, writing, and telling everybody about that. You also help people out.
Definitely. From the Chinese book sales of Flying Fingers, you can see the Chinese version. Then the proceeds go to a Tibetan orphanage to help children's life care. And also, I've been working since I'm going to have an Asian tour. Then I'm doing this from the Chinese book sales. Also. I've been donating books on my school tours. I've also been donating notebooks, writing materials to help inspire kids to write with the correct resources. And also on one of my speeches for Keller Williams, the 4th largest real estate company in the U.S., I donated $1,000 to KW Cares, their care system, their charity system that they sponsor.
And why is that important to you?
I believe that all children have the right to get a good education, to have a good life, to have the correct resources, to be able to read and write, and that I should help these children because I am so privileged in that I have a laptop, that I'm able to read and write, that I have so many books, that I think other children should have these opportunities as well. And I hope that eventually it will be a world in which every child has a notebook, food, can go to school every day, excepting weekends for those who don't like school. Although I love school, but and
we could tell.
I think that all kids deserve this, and so that's why I'm working for
That's
charity.
great. We hope that happens. Doris Fetak, our 9-year-old literary genius, no doubt we should expand this table in a few years, and we'll have many more books to show the world. And
Definitely.
hopefully your message will go out there as well. Adora, thank you so much. Our youngest young person who rocks to date, 9 years old. Thanks, Adora.
Thank you.
And if you know anyone else who rocks out there, all you have to do is go to our website, cnn.com/youngpeoplewhorock.